finer things.
Caravaggio. Imagine an artist who stabbed someone because he lost a tennis match, was arrested for throwing a plate of hot artichokes in a waiter's face, was on the run from the police for most of his adult life, and was able to escape from an escape-proof prison on an island guarded by armed knights. Then imagine that while he was in the midst of all of this, he was still able to paint some of the most moving, narrative, religious paintings in the history of art. That is what the artist Caravaggio did, and it's no surprise that he died from exhaustion and bad health at the age of 38. Caravaggio's paintings are sublime, and along with his masterful use of composition, he has a breathtaking ability to shift the viewer emotionally. His painting of the Deposition uses a device to show heaviness and movement that works like an animation flipbook. Starting from Mary Magdalene on the upper right side of the canvas, the viewer's eye is moved to the left and downward. We go from the frenzied grief of the Magdalene to the weeping of Martha, to the anguished bewilderment of Jesus' mother, then to the numbed resolve of Nicodemus, and finally to the staring disbelief of the Apostle John. The sense of desperation is heightened by the bulky deadness of Jesus' body, which feels even heavier with his arm hanging limp and the drooping white funeral shroud that emphasizes the act of the body being lowered. At the bottom end of this composition, Caravaggio shows a large cornerstone, which brings the viewer back to the realization that in the midst of this image of death and depression, there is a ray of hope. Christ called himself the cornerstone, and the viewer is reminded of the resurrection, which must take place after this gruesome event if the church is to survive. Caravaggio completed this painting during one of the most turbulent periods of his career. During this time he was arrested for slander and assault, was reported for throwing stones through his landlady's windows, and was twice brought in by the police for insulting them. Throughout this period, Caravaggio retained his sense of humor. When he painted David with the head of Goliath, he painted his self-portrait as the severed head of Goliath.